A second way to find or to solve a system of linear equations by substitution is by substitution. And what we have to do here, solve one of the equations for one of the variables, substitute the resulting expression into the other equation, solve this new equation if possible, and then substitute back into one of the original equations to find the value of the other variable, and then we can check our solution. So our first example, we have here x plus y is equal to 10. That's our first equation, and then we have y is equal to 4x. So when we're saying substituting, what you're looking for, the substitution method, what you want to do is look for an equation where one of the variables is solved for by itself on one side. And you notice the second line, our second equation. We have y is equal to 4x. Y is by itself. So what we're going to do, we're going to take what y is equal to, which is 4x, I'm going to circle, and we're going to substitute it into the first equation for the variable y. And this is what we have. X plus, and where we see y, we're going to substitute, plug in 4x is equal to 10. And let's solve. We have an equation to solve for. X plus 4x, we have 5x is equal to 10. Divide by 5, we have x is equal to 2. Now, what we're going to do next is, because we need to find, we're looking for an ordered pair. We have 2, now we need to find y. And this is where we go back to step 3. It says, then substitute back. So you choose which equation you want to substitute 2 in for the variable x. What I'm going to do to make it somewhat simple for us is substitute 2 in back into the second equation, since our goal is to find y. Y is by itself. So we're going to substitute. We have y is equal to, back in number 2, in for x. So we have 4 times 2. That gives us 8. So our solution is 2, 8. Okay. Let's do another one. We have here x is equal to 3y. Our first x plus 2y is equal to negative 17. Here again, look for, when you're using the substitution method, look at where, or look to see if you can find an equation where you have a variable by itself. Well, here, the first equation. So what we're going to do is take the expression, what x is equal to 3y, and we're going to substitute it into the second equation this time, but this time for the variable x. So now we have 5 times x, what we're calling x here is 3y, plus 2y is equal to negative 17. 5 times 3y, we have 15y, plus 2y is equal to negative 17. Then we have 17y is equal to negative 17. Divide by 17, and y is equal to negative 1. So we found the y coordinate. Let's find the x coordinate. And this is where we're going to go. It doesn't matter which equation you choose. Substitute negative 1 in for y to find x. Well, I'm going to plug it back into the first equation since x is by itself. And we have x is equal to 3 times negative 1. That gives us negative 3. This is our solution. In letter C, we have 3x minus y is equal to 6. We have negative 4x plus 2y is equal to negative 8. Now, with examples A and B, we had equations where the variable is by itself on one side. But for example C, we don't have that. So if we don't have that, using the substitution method, look for a variable where its coefficient is 1. Well, you notice the first equation, the variable y has a coefficient of negative 1, but we can change that. What we're going to do is take the first equation, we're going to rewrite the first equation in slope-intercept form so we can solve for y. So we're going to subtract 3x to both sides. Then we're going to divide by negative 1. We have y is equal to 3x minus 6. So we're rewriting the first equation over so we can have a variable by itself. So this time, since the first equation, y is solved, we're going to take that expression, 3x minus 2, and we're going to substitute it into the second equation for y. So now we have negative 4x plus 2 times 3x minus 6 is equal to negative 8. And then let's proceed to solve. We're going to distribute. We have negative 4x plus 6x minus 12 equals to negative 8. We have 2x minus 12 is equal to negative 8. We're going to add 12 to both sides. We have 2x is equal to 4. Divide by 2. And we have x is equal to 2. Okay, so we found the x coordinate. Now we're looking for the y. And we're going to substitute the 2n into one of the equations. Since we've already solved for y, let's substitute it into the y equals equation. We have 3 times 2 minus 6, that is 6 minus 6, that is 0. So our y coordinate is 0. And this is how you would use the substitution method.